We're back for a new season of racing here in Hong Kong with a new look, new features, new content, new segments. It is in actual fact an all-new Hong Kong Direct. Coming up on this week's show, well, Douglas Whyte is a 13-time champion jockey, but he starts his career as a trainer on Sunday with 7 runners. New jockeys in town as well, including Blake Shinn with a good book of rides, including the champion trainer John Sides. Blake has 8 rides on the weekend. Great to have your company for the new season ahead. My name's Andrew Lejeune. I'm joined in the studio by Graham Cunningham, fresh off the plane here at a busman's holiday in the UK, but plenty to look forward to, Graham, for the new season.
Yes, Andrew, good to be back. I don't know about fresh, but I do know there's plenty to look forward to. Just look at the list. Zach Purton v. Joe Moreira could be an epic title battle. Beauty Generation exultant, setting the bar so high for the young stars like Athero and Champions Way to match. New jockeys in town, not just Blake Shinn, Lyle Hewitson, veteran trainer John Moore in his final swan song season in Hong Kong, and that man you mentioned, Douglas Whyte, in his first season of his training career.
All right, well, let's get straight into the action. Douglas Whyte switches from the saddle to the training ranks. Ed Sadler sat down with him to catch up how he feels about the opening day on Sunday.
Well, Douglas, thank you for your time this morning. Let's go back to 10th of February, your last day as a jockey. Here we are, a few days out from the start of the new season, with you about to begin as a trainer. Have the last 6 months been a bit of a whirlwind for you?
They have. It's been an interesting trip, big learning curve for me. When I hung up the boots on the 10th of February, I thought the next couple of months were going to be pretty testing and daunting and a long period in my life, and I tell you what, it went by very quickly. I've had a great experience travelling. I'm grateful to the trainers that afforded me the time and opportunity spending time with them, and what they were able to share with me. I don't think there was one that did not open up and answer any particular question that I had, and for that I'm very grateful. It's been a very eventful and knowledgeable time away from Hong Kong.
Let's elaborate on that. So you went from here to Dubai, firstly with Mike de Kock, then to the UK, and then to Australia. Just who did you see and what did you gain out of that travelling?
Yeah, you're right. I started off with Mike de Kock in Dubai. That was a lovely experience, and I was able to saddle up a few on Super Saturday with him. And then I was off to the UK, where I spent a stint with Sir Michael Stout and William Haggis, a couple of days with Charlie Appleby. Sir Mark Prescott was very entertaining, the time I had with him. But I think just the time in general and Newmarket in itself, I hadn't ridden work there, and it was one of the boxes that I wanted to tick before signing off. And after that 6 weeks, I headed off to Perth, and then from Perth I went up to Melbourne, spent a couple of weeks with David Hayes, both in Melbourne at Flemington and Euroa, and what a facility. Man, he's just nailed it, and he deservedly so, because he's got a unique and fantastic team around him. And then my last stop was with Chris Waller, and again, thorough gentleman. Truly enjoyed my time with him. He's just a walking, thinking time bomb. He's just very knowledgeable, does everything to perfection, and everything's recorded. So again, a lot was taken on board.
Sunday marks the first day that your name will appear in the race book as a trainer. You've got 7 horses entered for the meeting. We've seen in the last couple of years, Frankie Law, Jimmy Ting have both won on their first days as trainers.
You're putting me under pressure here now.
Well, is there pressure on you there, Douglas?
No, there's not. That's the nice thing. I mean, of course, I'm a sportsman. I'm a competitor, and competition is what drives me. So this is a new challenge, a new chapter. Of course, there's pressure to succeed, but there's not significant pressure in that I have to go to the races and win. It's the first race meeting of the season. There's some races that I'm running horses in because there's no particular races for them within the next 6 weeks. So unfortunately, they're not 100% fit. They are fit enough to run, and it's a race that they slot into comfortably. So there's a couple of horses running for that particular reason, and a couple that are running that I think are going really well, that would benefit from going to the races on the first day and run competitively well. So I'm under pressure for my horses, not for me. I want them to run well, and I'd like to see how they cope with everything thrown at them at the first meeting.
In terms of your legacy in the racing game, you last season were given a Lifetime Achievement Award, something that's not given out lightly here in Hong Kong. You're a 13-time champion jockey. Is there pressure to make this work as a trainer, given what you've already achieved in the racing industry?
You know, that's a good question. There's always pressure to make things work. That's my nature. I don't like failure, and I don't like not being successful. I think I proved that when I was a jockey, and whatever it takes, it's a learning curve. I'm learning something every single day from these amazing animals that I train. So if I can take as much on board and with the people around me that are there to stand by me, I'll make it work, and I'm going to enjoy it along the way.
That's the key part. There's two parts to that, in actual fact. So we'll see the second part on next week's show. As Douglas doesn't look far off his fighting weight, in actual fact, does he? But 7 runners on the weekend. He'd want to hit the board, wouldn't he, just to settle the nerves?
Well, who's better placed to make it as a trainer in Hong Kong? 13 times champion jockey, a bulging contacts book, the sort of trainer shadowing that money can't buy with all those stars he mentioned, but most of all, his own intelligence and his sharpness and his precision. That's what we associate with Douglas Whyte. Good luck to him. I'm sure he's going to have a long, very successful career. California fortune for him in the big race on Sunday.
And we can see the other ones as well. Le Panache, an interesting one, because he won this race on Le Panache, absolutely bolted up on the opening day last season. He now trains him, won a couple of races on him. So that would be an interesting one to get the ball running. An easy go, easy win, ridden by long-time rival Zac Purton.
Absolutely, that's an intriguing booking. And the key barometer of trainers in the early stages is how well they can get horses from recruits from other yards to either improve or find their old form. And that's going to be the early test for Douglas.
Obviously, winners is key. But, you know, with a horse like California Fortune, can he hit the board and land a big one on the opening day?
Well, he's quick and he's very one-dimensional. All his 4 wins have been gained wire to wire, and I don't think he's going to be pressured too hard. So he's got the course and distance form. He might just get the run of the race. Yes, he could go well.
But he's got a chance, White as a whole, having a winner on the opening day.
I'm sure he's got a good chance, yeah. That would be a great start, but he's not going to judge himself by the first few days or weeks or even months. He's hoping to be here for 20 plus years now.
All right, that's Douglas Whyte as a trainer. Jockeys on the scene. Well, Lyle Hewitson is a new champion jockey from South Africa. We'll meet him next week. But on the opening show, we weigh in with former champion jockey from Sydney, Blake Shinn.
Hi, I'm Blake Shinn. I'm a jockey from Sydney, Australia. I'm here in Hong Kong and I'm looking forward to my 6-month contract starting next Sunday on the 1st of September. I would say my family, my mum, Carol, and my stepfather, Lee Hope. Without doubt, they've been my biggest supporters right from a young age. I've always wanted to be a jockey ever since I can remember, and they've really, helped guide me, to try and live my dream. One comes to mind is a guy named Darren Bevan. He was, at the top of his riding ranks when I was a young jockey, riding for the famous Ingham family and John Hawkes. And he was just a faultless rider. He was a consummate professional. Hard to say. Look, the Golden Slipper was a race on Capitalist in 2016. Personally, it was a great race to win because a few years prior I got suspended and missed the Golden Slipper on Sebring.
The Magic Millions winners drawn clear in the slipper. Yankee Rose home into second, but Capitalist takes it out.
Also the Melbourne Cup 2008 and a race winning on my family's horse called Fenway in the Vinery Stakes for my stepfather Lee.
Fenway under the pump, Perseal is lunging but misses, and Fenway gets the money, Blake Shinn.
I really admire the way Roger Federer goes about his business. He's been a champion for many years at tennis, he's not an ego-driven person. He's very humble, even when he gets defeated, and I really admire that, not only in him but in people. I don't really relax much. Racing's my on button. I don't really have an off button. I just 24/7 racing. I love it. It's yeah, I eat, sleep and breathe horse racing. So anyone that knows how to get Blake Shinn switched off with racing, come and see me. You can find me on my Twitter handle, Blake Shinn, I think it is, and my Instagram page. I do use it. I use it for, you know, keeping my friends and my family, and also my fans in the racing industry, you know, sort of updated on what's going on. You know, I think that's sort of the new way in, you know, this day and age, and it's good to keep people, you know, who follow racing and myself updated, and people who's interested in following my career.
There you go, weighing in with Blake Shinn. He's not here for a holiday, Graham. He's going to make his presence felt, I think.
He means business.
Yeah.
And the Jockey Club aren't really taking a chance with him. They know exactly what they're getting. Jockey at the peak of his powers, when the Melbourne Cup, age 20. You can see from that really interesting clip there that he's a considered guy. And you try to do your due diligence about these guys. Someone I really respect, who knows exactly what Blake Shinn's about, says he's never seen a guy who prepares for each race more meticulously. That could be a big asset here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, back from serious injury as well, not so long ago. But where does he fit into in the bigger picture, I suppose? Because the jockeys ranks haven't looked as strong for a while now. You look at last season's table. I think Zach would be the first to say that he might not ride 168 winners. They're going to be shared around a little bit more. Joe Moreira's a freelance. Karras off the back of a big season. Vincent as well. Sylvester de Sosa will probably come back again during the winter. But, you know, where does Blake fit into the bigger picture, do you think? And Lyle, for that matter.
Yeah, I think he'll be hoping to get certainly into the top 7 or 8, maybe slightly better than that. That would represent a very, very solid first season. But you're dead right, Andrew. There won't be any 168s flying around this season. Could be nip and tuck between Joe Moreira and Zach Purton. Joe has the weight advantage, and he's free to roam now as a club jockey, a freelance jockey. Behind the big two from last season, Karras Teeton and Vincent Ho had breakout campaigns last season. They'll be hoping to consolidate, but you've got Blake Shinn in town. You've got Lyle Hewitson, super young, composed, articulate, very, very precocious talent. You're right, it's a very exciting time on the jockey front.
Alu de Meer and Grant van Niekerk coming off good seasons as well. They want to build on that too. The jockey ranks look particularly strong. Still plenty more to come. That's the end of part 1. Part 2, though, all the fun of the fair at the pre-season carnival at Shartin, including the jockey sprint, who came out on top there. Plus, we look ahead to the first feature of the season, the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup.